Greetings, you charging binoxes. I hope you're doing well. My name is Graham, and welcome to the Crack-a-Pack here on LRRMTG. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Today we are opening a pack of Battlebond for Crack-a-Pack from Brian and Kelsey at GP Vegas 2018. So written down on a piece of paper from the Westgate, Las Vegas. Westgate, Las Vegas. The best hotel that's directly connected to where they hold GPs. Held GPs. Held Magic Fests? Let's not worry about it. Battlebond. I think I've played the most Battlebond I've ever played at GP Vegas 2018. All right. Everything's in a weird order, so I'm gonna rearrange it so that we appropriately build up through the pack. Because as I've said before, I like to go commons, uncommons, rares, because it's like an increasing tension. I'm not the kind of person that just jumps to the back of the pack. So we're going to start instead with Lightwalker. 1 in a white for a 2/1 human warrior. Lightwalker has flying as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. The trick, of course, is getting the +1/+1 counter on Lightwalker. In Khans of Tarkir, where this was originally from, that was not so difficult. But I don't know Battlebond that well just by playing it. I mean, I've only played it really at GPs, but I assume that it can't be too challenging or else it would be very bad. Maybe it's just very bad. Water Courser is next. 2 in a blue for a 2/3 elemental. For 1 blue mana, Water Courser gets +1/-1 until end of turn, so you can accidentally kill your own Water Courser. Careful with that. Also, what is it? It's just like, it says it's an elemental, but it's just like it's a eel. It's a watery eel. It looks unsettling. I wouldn't want to encounter a Water Courser like in real life. I mean, that's true of most creatures in Magic the Gathering, if I'm being completely honest, but Water Courser just, ugh. A Screeching Buzzard, on the other hand. Oh man, why didn't I go with Screeching Buzzards for the top of the show? For 3 in a black, it's a 2/2 bird with flying, and whenever Screeching Buzzard dies, each opponent discards a card. Now, of course, a reminder that Battlebond is played in a 2-headed giant format. And so what this means is when Screeching Buzzard dies, each of your opponents, meaning both players on the opposing team, discard a card. So that's why it's a 2/2 for 4. Otherwise, that would be medium. But in this format, Screeching Buzzard seems pretty good. Ember Beast is 2 in a red for a 3/4 beast, and Ember Beast can't attack or block alone. And again, your team shares attacking and blocking steps, so as long as your partner has a creature attacking or blocking, so too can your Ember Beast. So that's, you know, not as bad. That's actually, Ember Beast is better in this format than in basically any other time that Ember Beast has been printed. Riptide Crab is deeply upsetting to look at. Also, it's 1 white-blue for a 1/3 Vigilance Crab that when it dies, draw a card. I don't know why it has to be so spiky. Like, crabs are alien-looking enough on their own. What was this that eventually carcinogized into this crab? Horrifying. Lead by example, 1 in a green for an instant, support 2. And that's all it says. If you don't know what support means, tough luck. Except that there is reminder text. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. So you just get to spread some +1/+1 counters around. So now that Lightwalker can fly, and that Water Courser can survive 1 more pump before just dying to state-based actions. So there you go. And of course you can do your creatures, your partner's creatures. You can lead by example. Why not? Totally Lost. 4 and a blue for an instant, put target non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. Always a good time to just get rid of a thing. At instant speed, try it in combat or at the end of their turn. Night Market Guard is, so it's 3 mana for a 3/1 artifact creature construct, and it says Night Market Guard can block an additional creature each combat, because it's got 2 torsos on 1 set of legs. So really, it's got everything covered. Oh, here we go. 1 head watches for consulate enforcers, the other watches for renegade thieves. Don't go to the night market if you're gonna do a crime. Or enforce the law? Is that what's... Yeah, only go to the night market if you're gonna buy something or sell something, I guess. Lightning Talons. 2 in a red for a creature enchantment, and the the creature enchantment says that the enchanted creature gets +3/+0 and first strike, which sounds like it would be really irritating. And I think I've had this be really irritating against me on numerous occasions. I don't like that card at all, because it's good. I don't know if it's actually good. It's okay. We're into the uncommons already. We've got Swarm of Blood Flies, 4 and a black for a 0/0 insect, which seems very below rate, but maybe there's more text. It's got flying. All right, so we're getting there. Swarm of Blood Flies enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Swarm of Blood Flies. Swarm of Blood Flies. Oh, it's a tongue twister. Swarm of Blood Flies, Swarm of Blood Flies, Swarm of Blood Flies, Swarm of Blood Flies. Oh, okay. All right, well, we got there eventually. This I find really neat because this doesn't interact in a two-headed giant game the obvious way that like Ember Beast or Lead by Example do. But it's just that in a two-headed giant game, there are 4 players with creatures, so there's just a higher chance of there being creatures to die. There's just a statistical higher number of creatures that are gonna die and make the blood flies bigger. Which, I mean, don't make the blood flies bigger. They're as big as they need to be, which is enough. They're horrifying. It's my least favorite Fallout 4 enemy, is the giant mosquitoes, and I think they're called blood flies as well. I hate them, don't like them, never have. Upsetting. Next, Battle Rattle Shaman, 3 and a red for a 2/2 Goblin Shaman. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have target creature get +2/+0 until end of turn. This must have been fun for R&D to go through and find cards like this that were fine on their own, because like I quite like Battle Rattle Shaman in the original format it was in, which I think was Zendikar or Rise of Eldrazi. It was certainly in Zendikar. And find cards like this that the templating means they can still be useful in a two-headed giant game, because it doesn't say your creatures, right? Like if this said the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn, then it wouldn't be helpful here. But in this case, you can give your partner's creature a boost. I like that. This must have been a very fun set to design. A Battle Mastery for only 3,400 gems. It's 2 and a white for a creature enchantment, and the creature has double strike. And a series of cosmetics. That's fine. We have Lightning Talons already. I don't remember if there was a thing that cared about enchantments. I mean, I'm glad it's at uncommon, because this sort of effect shouldn't be flying around at common, but I don't think this card is outstanding. We have a foil Royal Trooper. 2 and a white for a 2/2 human soldier. Whenever Royal Trooper blocks, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn. That used to be a thing, didn't it? There was a term for that. Rampage was when it became blocked. Is this Bushido, but it's only on blocks? It's like the defensive half of Bushido, I think. Maybe this specifically hasn't been a keyword before, but it puts me in mind of some very early Magic. Anyway, our rare is Victory Chimes. What the heck is Victory Chimes? 3 mana artifact. Untap Victory Chimes during each other player's untap step. Tap, a player of your choice adds 1 colorless mana. Huh. How have I never heard of this? This seems like something people would be playing in Commander. Or is it just the sort of thing that I would play in Commander because it's actually not good? This seems good. This certainly seems like someone could get up to shenanigans with this in Commander. The favored noisemaker of goblins ever since the Wardens cracked down on explosives. Oh good, at least now the goblins are only miserably noisy and not actively destructive. That is probably an improvement. I can tell you that Victory Chimes is not busted in Commander, and I know that because it's only worth 56 cents. And I mean, that tells you everything you need to know right there. It is the most expensive card in this pack, but otherwise not an astonishing pack. If I were drafting Battlebond, I would get to take 2 of these cards? How does Battlebond work? Is it your team gets to take 2 of the cards? Oh no, it's been so long. Does it say on the pack? Sure doesn't. What if I take the 2 black flyers, Swarm of Blood Flies and Screeching Buzzard? That seems defensible. That seems like a perfectly reasonable thing to do. I don't think I need victory chimes. I think you know if your deck needs victory chimes. I think you're partway through the pack and you're like, oh, this will be great. But I don't think it's a thing that you just start with and go off. So, yeah, we'll take those cards. How about that? That's gonna do it for this Battlebond episode of the Crack-A-Pack. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you want to send us a pack, you are welcome to do so at our P.O. Box. Remember to mark it Attention Crack-A-Pack. Check out our store at store.loadingreadyrun.com. Check out the Patreon, because that's how we do all of these things, is through your direct support. Yeah, I've been Graham. Shoutouts to James for the assist. Shoutouts to the editors, and thank you all for watching. We'll talk to you on the next one.